Well, I mean, there are preparers who are non-licensed, there are enrolled agents, and there are certified public accountants. I would tell people that when you're looking for a tax preparer, I would want a tax preparer that's there all year. Not just somebody that shows up for 3.5 months to file your return and then they're gone. And that's a problem with some of these services where people do it for free. Because when the notice comes, there's no one to help you. And so, number one, I would suggest that you have someone who's in the business of being there, in the tax business. I think that's the most important thing. Obviously, have they been around experience? Have they been around a long time? And then, you can look at what prices are. They do vary. But, price should really not be determinant. I mean, I would sit down with someone, and if I ask them questions about taxes, and I am not satisfied with the answer, then I would consider looking somewhere else. If they can't answer your question, maybe they don't understand it. You cannot assume that everybody that sits across the desk knows how to prepare a tax return. CPAs are basically, they're accountants. But typically, CPAs have professional responsibility. And so if they're holding themselves out to do taxes, that's a pretty good bet they probably have an understanding in tax law. Not a guarantee, but a pretty good bet. Enrolled agents are actually tested by the IRS. And at one point, that means they had a certain body of knowledge. Hopefully they kept it up. So, it wouldn't hurt to ask people, have you been doing this long? Do you do continuing education? Will you be here what happens if I get a notice? Do you take care of that as part of the tax return? Are you going to charge me more for that to take care of that notice? Because the IRS sends out large amounts of notices that come from computers, and the majority of them have no basis. But if you do not respond to them, they can levy your wages, file liens against you, even if they shouldn't have been filed. And so you want to make sure somebody's there to help you. If you filed your own taxes and you get a notice, I can tell you, just like anything, when you deal with somebody who understands what they're doing, you're going to deal with them differently than if you deal with somebody that doesn't. And when people deal with the IRS, they're automatically on the defensive and they're nervous. It's a scary thing. Or Indiana Department of Revenue. It's nice to have someone who knows the law and can say, no, this isn't right, we need to do this differently. So if you get a notice, maybe then it is time, if you do it yourself, to find a professional that deals with tax issues. Sometimes it can be as simple as just sitting in another form or answering a question. But if it goes beyond that, and it's not uncommon for us to get phone calls from people who get notices saying they owe $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 worth of taxes. And in the end, when we get done, they get money back because maybe they missed something on their return. So don't assume that notice is correct. Usually it's not.